Hello everyone and welcome to round number 10 of the Nemesis Online Racing League Formula C Championship here on Project Cars 2. And of course, sadly, you didn't hear my voice commentating on the action last week, as I had some more important things to attend to. But I actually just need to fix my game sound, so give me a slight moment here. Okay, that's much better. It was a bit too loud. And of course, today we are racing at Snetterdon in the United Kingdom, and I will quickly move on to the championship standings. Now, of course, some of you would have seen the action that happened in last week's race, where Nemesis and had both of his races severely hampered. I've been informed. I haven't actually managed to be able to watch the races yet, but I am aware that that is the case. So, in first place is our championship leader, of course, Nemesis Racing on 194 points. Mark is in second place on 171 points, who cannot race tonight. So if Nemesis takes away both race wins here, I think he is pretty much unstoppable in this championship. Then we have Murcielago in third on 134, VSR Blizzard on 132, Chaza on 121, Ragno on 77, but of course he does not race in this series anymore. Then we have Galactic Skull on 74, JFD on 42, Bimmer Black on 29, Kadeshi on 26, and Altanovic on 26. Everyone on 26, Kevin Jacobs on 13. And that is it for the championship standings. But for this qualifying session, we are going to watch Nemesis, as he would surely be one of the favourites, along with VSR Blizzard, of course, who was very quick on this game. Well, on any F1 racing game, for that fact. He's absolutely rapid on the F1 game. I'm more than aware of that. Right. Hello to SGT Strike. Good evening to you, mate. And yeah, I actually really do like the Snetterdon track. I know there's a couple of people who are racing tonight that aren't a massive fan of it, but yeah, I do enjoy it for sure. As Nemesis is coming towards the line now for his lap in qualifying. What is he going to set? He's going to set a 150.7, 0.3 of a second off VSR Blizzard's benchmark of a 150.4, and then we have Chaza 2 seconds adrift of that. So I would give you a more of a better commentary of the lap, but I don't know the track like completely off by hand. If it was an F1 track, then I would give you a proper commentary of the lap, but as Nemesis does run a little bit wide there, it will probably cost him a little bit of time. Now let's see if VSR Blizzard or Nemesis can improve here on their final laps here. In the first qualifying session, of course, which is dry in this league, along with the first race, but then in the second qualifying session and the second race, the weather is on random. But VSR Blizzard certainly won't be improving, as he's invalidated his lap time there by exceeding track limits or potentially cutting the track limits. So it's all up to Nemesis now. Let's see what our championship leader can do. It certainly feels like a very long lap here at Snetterton. As now Nemesis comes towards the line. Is he going to be able to improve and go on pole position? No, he's not. He's not able to improve. And it's going to be VSR Blizzard, who of course is very, very quick on pole, ahead of Nemesis Racing, Chazza, Murcielago, and Altanovic, and Galactic Skull 2. Sadly, only 6 of us tonight, but there you go. I'm sure there'll be plenty of action at the front as per usual. But you can see there, Nemesis quicker than Blizzard in the first sector by 3/10, and then in the middle sector by about a tenth, and then loses 6/10 in the final sector. So I'm not too sure what's going on there, but VSR Blizzard doing a very good job to take a pole position in round number 10 of this championship. I'm being asked in the chat, Nib, who do you think has the best chance to win this race tonight? Who has the best chance with their performance? Well, for me, it's probably VSR Blizzard or Nemesis. They are certainly the two outstanding drivers pace-wise in these cars. So it would probably be out of those two. But of course, we shall see who will come out on top of that battle. As Nemesis is creeping forward. Of course, it's just all syncing up. But now, we are waiting for the fly lights to go out. And it's go, 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 and VSR Blizzard does get a very good start and easily pulls away from Nemesis Racing after the start. And it has a clear advantage already, which is certainly what he wanted, but a bit further back. We have Nemesis being pressured slightly by Chazza, with Murcielago also interested in looking at Chazza. That's a great camera shot, I must admit. But now VSR Blizzard will be looking to be pulling away from these guys behind. The championship leader won't be allowing that, that's for sure, and you can see he's gaining down the straight on VSR Blizzard. Top 3 separated by 7/10 of a second. This is what we like. Nemesis does run a little bit wide there, but Nemesis is really all over the back of VSR Blizzard, and as soon as I say that, he's just dropped a tiny bit back. When I say a tiny bit, a couple of tenths, but not a great amount to be talking about at the moment. This hasn't been really any battling. Come on, Galactic, send it, and he hasn't sent it. Sad. Oh, and Anil goes a little bit wide there, and that's going to easily allow Galactic Skull 2 to move up into 5th place. Anil just taking too much speed in the corner beforehand and just runs wide onto the exit curb and onto the grass. Not what you want when there's only 6 drivers. You want to be surrounded by drivers. You don't want to be bored out of your brains. Of course, it's not like it's a 50% race on the F1 game. It's only a 15-minute race, so it's a little bit less painful, but nonetheless, you don't want to be stuck out at the back. That is for sure. But we'll move back on board with we're back to the battle at the front between VSR Blizzard and Nemesis. As you can see, Chazza is dropping back now from this group. Oh, as VSR Blizzard does make a little bit of a mistake there, goes wide. And that should allow Nemesis a very good run in through that corner, but sadly it's not really a straight, so he can't capitalise too much. But VSR Blizzard as we've just seen there, is not invincible. He has made a mistake, and as we've seen earlier on in the championship at Brands Hatch, he made a mistake at the last corner to lose the race victory. So Nemesis just has to keep the pressure on VSR Blizzard, stay within a second of him, and the pressure will be right on VSR Blizzard. So Nemesis really is gaining a lot now. Just a couple of tenths behind his rival. But Saley doesn't get the best run coming out of the corner, which you need to get a superb run out of if you want to have an opportunity of overtaking into turn 1, which is very hard to do, but more into the next proper stopping braking zone, which we see here, this lovely hairpin with the lovely curb. Oh, and we're down to 5, and Altanovic has retired from the session, I believe. He did find himself about 14 seconds back after a couple of laps, and I don't really blame him when there's no pit stops or safety cars that come into effect. It would be a very, very difficult and long race for the Bosnian, so I do not blame him in the slightest. But as we can see through here once again, Nemesis catching up, and VSR Blizzard clips that inside curb, and that's allowing Nemesis to be right on the tail of VSR Blizzard through these corners. But sadly for Nemesis, he's just not quite able to get the run on VSR Blizzard to make that move, although he is gaining quite significantly here. Is he going to look for a move? No, just a bit too far back. But VSR Blizzard once again massively bunny hopping over that curb, which surely has to be costing him time, as once again we're seeing Nemesis close in behind here. This is the part of the track where he is quite clearly very strong. I thought he was going to send it up the inside there, but once again out of this corner you can see that VSR Blizzard's just having a fantastic run compared to Nemesis, and Nemesis is just not able to hang with VSR Blizzard through that part of the track at the moment. But I should also say, I do apologise for being a little bit late. I forgot to put the bins out, so I was in a mad sprint to go and put the bins out. That's why we were a couple of minutes late. And of course, sorry to everyone who was racing tonight, because I hate being late. But we can see here that VSR Blizzard's just been able to maintain his gap to Nemesis through the part of the track where Nemesis had been previously gaining, so I think we might see for the first time this gap blow out to a second. I say blow out to a second, that doesn't really work, but you know what I mean. There we go, we added a second for a slight little moment there. Once again, Nemesis right within half a second, because VSR Blizzard is struggling through that part of the track. It's clear to see. Or maybe he's not struggling at all and just Nemesis is very, very good. But Nemesis just goes a little bit wide there, and that's going to allow VSR Blizzard to get that second buffer, which certainly doesn't hurt. And Nemesis has to be careful here, because he doesn't want to be making too many mistakes like he did there. Like it was a little slight mistake, but nonetheless, it's dropped him behind VSR Blizzard, and who knows, he could, if he makes more of those, he could fall back into the clutches of Chadza as he runs very deep there in that hairpin, costing himself more time, is the Italian here. An SGT strike saying, let's go Galactic in the chat. Yes, come on, Colin. Come on, Galactic. Let's get Largo. Let's get some good points. Well, even if you do finish, you're going to get some good points. But we're just in a holding pattern here at the moment. Of course, with 5 cars, we're not going to see the most amount of action. So can one of you make it interesting, please? That'd be nice. Because this is getting a bit tedious, not gonna lie. But one series that is not lacking of action is the Historic League, of course, on Sundays 8:30 GMT time, and it's on at 7:30 here in the morning in Australia on Monday morning. That certainly doesn't lack action. Of course, also run by the Nemesis Online Racing League. I'm looking forward to the next round. I can't remember where it is again. I looked at it and I can't remember now, so silly me. But Nemesis on that lap, 0.4 of a second quicker than VSR Blizzard, closing that gap within a second again. He is a man on a mission. Nemesis taking a wider apex through these long swooping corners, I've noticed. He's been doing it the hairpin at the end of the, in the first sector. He does it through there again, but runs wide and he's just pushing too hard. And that's cost him about a second. That's not what you want when you were catching VSR Blizzards. And he's now nearly 2 seconds behind. Just as it looked like we were going to see some action again, we've been robbed of it, as Nemesis made that mistake. So it looks like I've missed out on the fantastic race of last week with the mega battle between Chazza and Nemesis, but this week there's been absolutely nothing in this first race. Hopefully some mixed conditions in the second race can mix it up. Oh dear. As Nemesis now is losing more time to VSR Blizzard, 2.5 seconds behind. And then further adrift we have Chazza, 7.5 seconds off to lead the race, who just runs wide for us there. So cheers for that. And we have Murcielago, 17.5 seconds adrift from the lead the race. Of course, we've seen him very quick around other tracks, but just does not seem like it is going to be his track. And we have the lovely Scott, the Galactic Skull, 22 seconds off the lead. Of course, who was very quick in these cars in previous runnings of this championship, but just has not got the same pace. Or as okay, I thought Blizzard might have made a mistake there because I went down to 1.5. Like, oh, what's going on here? And it's back out to 3. So back onto Galactic Skull. He was very quick in the last running of this series, winning multiple races, and sadly it just hasn't quite worked out for him in this running of the Formula C series on Project Cars 2. So hopefully in another series he can re-find his mojo, be back up the front challenging for race victories. But I think we're all just waiting for this checkered flag to be waved. Just gonna watch Blizzard in case something happens. Who knows? Funnier things have happened, as that awful saying goes. But there's our Blizzard, not clipping that big sausage curb like we've seen him doing earlier on in the race. Oh, but then he's going on the grass there, which we certainly didn't see at all earlier on when we were watching VSR Blizzard. Now, will we have to watch another lap of this? It looks like we will. Oh, for crying out loud. I just want my random weather, but we are now on the last lap of the Grand Prix. It looks like VSR Blizzard, with a brilliant drive, is going to take the win. Oh, I'm so sorry about that. I was up a tad too late playing PlayStation last night, this morning, so I'm a bit tired. We've got a long day ahead, but as I was saying, it looks like VSR Blizzard will take this win quite comfortably ahead of Nemesis. Look at that lap time, nearly dipping into the 149s on the previous lap was VSR Blizzard, which would have been mightily impressive. Oh, and he goes on the curb and runs wide. Sadly, I don't think that well, I say sadly, that mistake, I don't mean sadly, of course, that mistake won't be enough to put him in the clutches of Nemesis, but as you can see, there's a mistake in VSR Blizzard, but he has got away with it after his superb driving has allowed him to build that gap up to Nemesis, and he should still have this race firmly in the bag. But now coming into the final part of the track, coming into now the last corner, which he has to negotiate, and everything looks very smooth out of there. It's going to be VSR Blizzard who takes victory in race number 1 of round 10 of the Project Cars Cars 2 Championship here using the Formula C cars. It's going to be the championship leader finishing in second place behind. A strong result when his championship rival Mark is not here, of course, and it's going to be Chazza finishing in third. A good result for him, just collecting the points. Then in fourth we've got Murcielago, solid points finish for him, and of course Galactic Skull in P5. But I must say that was quite an underwhelming race. I certainly hope that we see some more action in the second race. As long as we're not having fog in qualifying, then that's good, but heavy rain in the race, sign me up for that, please. Let's see if Anel Tanovic is going to rejoin the session. Hopefully he does, because another car on the grid would be nice. That's for sure. Well, it certainly wouldn't hurt. As you can see, the weather's just been changed to random for the both qualifying and the race. So I'm assuming we're not too far away from getting underway for the second qualifying session here tonight at Snetterdon. And good to see Twitter just absolutely roasting Theresa May. Right, I'm seeing rubbish opinions from Evertonians on Twitter, thinking that Luca Digne is the best left back in the Premier League. Lol. Just trying to pass time here. Oh, and it looks like it's just going to be cloudy conditions for the... It's not even cloudy. Well, it's a little bit more overcast. Here it's set in for qualifying 2. We can see Versal Blizzard and Nemesis warming up their tyres quite aggressively. Oh, that's Galactic Skull 2 going for a little off in the background there. I don't know what exactly he was doing, but he just went off in the background. Oh, and Murcielago's gone completely off the track there. Where on earth is he going? Jesus Lord. He went to Hong Kong and back. Oh, please stay on the track, Murcielago, that'd be nice. But if there's anything you guys want to ask me in the chat that you want me to answer, or something you want to know about me, or whatever, please go ahead, because with only 5 drivers, I doubt we're going to see too much action. Once again in race 2. What on earth just happened there? I think there might have been a little bit of lag on my end, and a little bit of lag on Murcielago's end there. But Nemesis just starting his lap now. Of course, he wasn't on pole position for the first race. VSR Blizzard was, so I'm sure that Nemesis will be looking to change that here in the second qualifying session. Hitting the exit curb just perfectly is Nemesis. Running a tad wide there though. Down into the next corner. Can he get it stopped in time? Does go a little bit deep, but that is alright for that sort of long looping corner. Just he carried the minimum speed through there. Gets a little bit of a twitch on through that corner, which we've seen a lot of drivers running wide at throughout the session. And of course you want to avoid the sausage curb through that corner. Seems as if the rear end is struggling a little bit with Nemesis at the moment. I must say, even though Nemesis' lap has looked very clean, it does look like VSR Blizzard has caught him up a little bit on this lap. So I would, at the moment, expect VSR Blizzard to be on provisional pole position, as Nemesis is now heading up to the final corner. Takes a very nice line through there, and now on the run to the line. What time is our championship leader going to set? It is a 150 flat, a 151 flat, and VSR Blizzard goes a tenth quicker ahead of Nemesis, a 150.8. Meanwhile, we have Galactic Skull on a 155.6, Shazza on a 153.6, and Murcielago on a 153.7. But I'm sure once again Nemesis will be almost pulling his hair out here that he hasn't taken pole position, well, provisional pole at least, here in qualifying 2. Be like, what do I have to do to take this pole, as VSR Blizzard is being a severe pest to him. But hopefully we see some closer racing in race 2 here. Hopefully some mixed weather, some random weather, some very random weather of heavy rain can produce the goods. Nemesis now coming toward the line. Will he be able to improve? I don't think he will, as VSR Blizzard has rapidly caught him on that lap, and indeed he doesn't improve. But you know who does improve? VSR Blizzard improves and does sets a 149.8. In fact, I think Nemesis did improve. Yes, Nemesis did improve by 0.6 of a second. But VSR Blizzard, a 149.8, what a lap time, and that is the first driver we have seen in the 149 so far. And wowee, what a lap that is by VSR Blizzard. But Murcielago has been disqualified. What was Murcielago doing? Well, I'm sure we will find out. But he would have qualified in last place anyway, so it doesn't really affect things whatsoever. But as you can see there, Blizzard was gaining time everywhere, and we don't have rain. So another dry race is to follow here, as we're now waiting for the 5 lights to go out to signal the start of the race. And lights out, and away we go. It actually looks like Nemesis got a pretty solid start, but VSR Blizzard's got a very good start. Nemesis blocking Chazza. He's moved across twice there as the championship leader. Very, very defensive from Nemesis, who was blocking off the fast starting Chazza. And let's see if he will come under any pressure from Chazza, as VSR Blizzard does run wide, and this is going to allow Nemesis to be all over VSR Blizzard. He's got to be able to make a move. Sadly, the next corner isn't quite an overtaking position, but the top 3 at the moment are certainly very close, as Chazza is looking to force his way past. Nemesis is going to try the move around the outside, is he? But Nemesis nearly dives down the inside of Blizzard at that stage, and Nemesis defends well there from Chazza, and is now going sight set forward on VSR Blizzard, but he runs wide off the track, and that should allow Chazza surely a very good opportunity to get past, but in fact somehow it allows Nemesis to try and go down the inside of VSR Blizzard as he goes down the inside there into the next corner, and it looks like he has got the move done, and Nemesis, our championship leader, finds himself in P1 for the first time today. But Chazza's pulling out the slipstream of VSR Blizzard, and so is Blizzard of Nemesis, and we are 3 wide down going into the next corner. This is brilliant stuff here. It's netted. Oh, it's 3 wide, and there's some contact there between Blizzard and Chazza. Oh, and everyone's running off the track as Nemesis runs off the track, and Chazza has found himself in the lead of the race, and Galactic Skull has now moved up into 3rd place and is now applying pressure to the back of Nemesis, but then he runs wide through that corner and allows Blizzard back into 3rd place. And this is what I'm talking about. This is a much better start. This is more action in the first 2 minutes than we had in the whole 15 minutes of the last race, as we have Chazza leading after the first lap of the race, where Nemesis and VSR Blizzard were very, very close. Well, the top 3 in fact were very, very close. Chazza come out on top of that 3 when the cars were 3 wide going into the corner, but Chazza there struggling through turn 1. Oh, Nemesis on the grass, and he nearly loses the car. But Chazza having to defend into that corner. Oh, and VSR Blizzard has hit Nemesis there. Or it might have just been a little bit loud, but there's certainly contact on my screen there, with Chazza in front. And as we've seen, Chazza didn't quite have the pace of these guys in the first race. It's going to be interesting to see how Nemesis and VSR Blizzard behind a deal with Chazza. As you can see, Nemesis is very, very close to Chazza, but there's not a lot of overtaking opportunities at this track. It's a very fast corner, lots of fast corners with medium speed corners, as Nemesis is having to defend from VSR Blizzard, and it looks like VSR Blizzard has just cleanly gone underneath Nemesis. A lovely cheeky move there by VSR Blizzard, but now both of them are in the slipstream. Nemesis looking to go down the inside into the next corner. Is he going to be able to make the move stick? He's going to try and then look to go. Oh, and VSR Blizzard just completely cut the corner, and Nemesis is sent off onto the grass once again. Oh, and that looks very naughty from VSR Blizzard, but it looks like there's been some lag contact. And what the Scooby-Doo is going on? Oh, a Galactic Skull has been punted off in the process as well. But all in the while, this has just allowed Chazza to build his gap, as Blizzard moves down the inside of Galactic Skull there and moves himself back up into P4. It looked like they were going side by side. There might have been some contact, and that might have sent VSR Blizzard wide, forcing him to cut the corner, and then crashing into the side of Nemesis, who went wide, who got shoved off the track. But then VSR Blizzard somehow come off worse from that incident. But whilst that craziness was happening, Chazza was just sitting at the front saying, "Thank you very much." because indeed that did allow him to build his gap up to 2.5 seconds at one stage, but is now down to just under 2 seconds, as Nemesis is definitely closing in on Chazza, and so is the VSR Blizzard on Murcielago here on lap 3 of this race at Snetterton. Oh, VSR Blizzard a little tail happy there out of that corner, loses the rear end ever so slightly, but doesn't lose too much time. As we are now on the long run down into the corner where we've seen the most action so far, that's for sure. Where we were going 3 wide with Chazza, Nemesis and VSR Blizzard. VSR Blizzard not catching and passing Murcielago as easily as I thought, but saying that, he gets a very good run coming out of the last corner, and it looks like down the main straight, down across the start finish line into the first couple of corners, he's going to be able to get this move done on the Austrian. He's got the inside line, does VSR Blizzard, and that is an easy overtake for VSR Blizzard, and that moves him up into 3rd place. But Murcielago isn't going down without a fight. Oh, and there's been some major contact, and that sent VSR Blizzard into the wall, but thankfully there is no damage on for VSR Blizzard, who was just punted there by Murcielago straight into the wall, but thankfully it hasn't cost VSR Blizzard or Murcielago too much time. But now we'll move our attention forward to Chazza, who is doing a brilliant job here to be leading this race, where we're nearly at halfway distance, or halfway time, in this race. But Nemesis now within a second of Chazza. Or is he saying that as Nemesis just goes over the big sausage curb, which certainly isn't going to help him in his efforts to catch Chazza. And indeed, he's now 1.5 seconds. So I wonder what's happening to Nemesis. He's now falling into the clutches of VSR Blizzard behind, who is certainly gaining on these lot. As we've seen in the previous lap, he was 2 seconds quicker than Chazza. So VSR Blizzard is a man on the mission here, and it looks like Nemesis is really struggling here. And VSR Blizzard all over the back of Nemesis, our championship leader. Is he going to try and go around the outside into the next corner? No, he's not quite able to do so, but he'll be looking to get a very good run coming out of the last corner down the straight, and it looks like Nemesis bogs down, and once again it's just going to be a very easy move for VSR Blizzard, who's moved himself up into 2nd place in this race. What's happened to Nemesis' pace on that last lap? He was very slow out of quite a number of corners. Not good for the championship leader, but VSR Blizzard now has a clear path to Chazza in front. The gap is 2.5 seconds, and with 7 minutes remaining, or just under 7 minutes now, I'm sure that VSR Blizzard will be fairly confident of catching Chazza before race end. But one thing is for sure, Chazza will defend with all of his might, all of his power, if VSR Blizzard does indeed catch up to the back, and certainly won't go down without a fight. But Nemesis through there, gaining quite a lot on VSR Blizzard, but on the exit of that corner, not quite able to keep up with Blizzard. Now that last corner, VSR Blizzard is so strong, and as we can see, he is he's gaining quite a fair amount on Chazza there, as he was just about over 1.5 seconds quicker than Chazza on that previous lap. And it looks like Chazza, just with a very poor run through that fast right-hander, is now under pressure from VSR Blizzard. VSR Blizzard looking to go underneath Chazza. There's a bit of contact there between the two, but now it looks like Chazza is under much and a lot of pressure from VSR Blizzard as Blizzard tries to go around the outside, but Chazza with the inside line should be able to defend. But now they are side by side, and it looks like VSR Blizzard is going to once again have to go around the outside through this sweeping left-hander, and Chazza defends very well, but now Nemesis is right in the question here. The top three separated by just about 0.3 of a second, and I'm sure we might see a dive by one of the drivers here. Down the inside goes Nemesis Racing of VSR Blizzard, but he's not able to get the move done as VSR Blizzard was able to take more of a speed around the outside, not compromised by Chazza like Nemesis was there. But it's good to see the battle at the front heating up once again. And as I was saying, Chazza is certainly going to defend with everything he has. And we've seen that right there, but Chaz with a very compromised entry into that corner, and that's going to allow VSR Blizzard to quite comfortably, and Nemesis indeed, go past Chazza. Chazza with a mistake there, carrying too much speed into that corner, having to take a... was already too close to the apex and was just not able to get a good run out of that corner, and then something else might have happened because he did lose an extra amount of time. So I'm sure Chazza will be disappointed with that slight mistake that he did make there. But the battle for the lead is certainly not over, as Nemesis and VSR Blizzard are within half a second of each other. So I'm sure we're going to be in for a grandstand finish here at Snetterton for round number 10 of the Nemesis Online Racing League Championship on the Project Cars 2 game with these lovely Formula C cars. Nemesis very aggressive on the brakes into that corner and closes the margin on VSR Blizzard. He's just got to keep the pressure on here, does Nemesis. Just stay close to VSR Blizzard, don't make a mistake and wait for him to make a mistake. Because no matter how many races you do in a league race, you always feel some amount of pressure in these races. Blizzard with a bit of a compromised entry into that corner, and indeed Nemesis gaining on VSR Blizzard and continuing to gain. See, just right there, if there was a nice, hairpin, we'd see Nemesis send it, but coming into the last corner now, where Blizzard usually gets a fantastic run out of the corner, and look at that once again. I'm sure this is so frustrating for the drivers. They're very close to Blizzard, and then just out of the last corner, he goes toodaloo and absolutely flies off down the track. But Nemesis is still right there, that's for sure, and this might be the last lap of the race. I didn't quite see what the exact timing was before or when we crossed the line. Let's see, I just got to rewind it back on the stream. And it does look like it will be our last lap of the race. It's going to be very close because they crossed the line exactly on 1:50, and as you can see on the last lap, Nemesis sending it down the inside of VSR Blizzard, and he's got the lead. Has Nemesis Racing, he's up into first place. A brilliant move down the inside there. I think he caught VSR Blizzard a bit napping there, but Nemesis runs wide, and that's going to allow VSR Blizzard to go and try and make the move around the outside, but it's looking like he's going to go for the switchback once again, which he pulls off expertly. What a move there by VSR Blizzard. Oh, beautiful switch back there. He played Nemesis like a fiddle, did he there? What a move by VSR Blizzard. Just when Nemesis thought, right, everything's sweet again, he runs a little bit wide, and VSR Blizzard with a beautiful switch back underneath Nemesis. Once again, he's in the lead of the race. And unless anything goes majorly wrong here, which indeed it does, he runs wide of that corner. Oh, I thought it compromised his run a little bit more than it actually did, but Nemesis is right there. He's going to try and send it. He wants this race victory, as we're now coming through the long sweeping right hand out just before our final corner of the race. Nemesis is going to try and attempt to send it, but he's just a tad too far back, and that is going to be VSR Blizzard who wins race number 2 here at Snetterton. What a race we just had, ladies and gentlemen. Nemesis Racing, the championship leader, will finish in P2, and behind him P3, who gave up a great battle all race long, is Chazza, but ultimately the pace of the 2 drivers ahead was just too great for him today. And I'm sure on another race track, maybe next week, we will see him once again potentially take a race victory. But that has been it, as we have Murcielago P4 and Galactic Skull P5. But that has been it for round number 10 of the Project Cars 2 Formula C Championship, presented by Nemesis Online Racing League. And well, the second race was superb. The first race was quite bad, but the second race didn't disappoint. That was brilliant to see the action between the top 3 of Chazza, Blizzard and Nemesis Racing. But I just see my mate Chazza in the chat now saying, I had bad tyre wear in both races, which resulted in poor pace at the latter stages of both races. Well, that's unfortunate. You're finally experiencing what I experienced compared to you on the F1 game, so cop that, Chaz. But yeah, that has been it. That has been brilliant, and that has been me for today. I hope everyone has a very good day wherever you are in the world, and I will see you all on Sunday. Well, Monday morning here, but Sunday 8:30 GMT time for the Nemesis Online Racing League Historic F1 Championship, where we see Ricardo F1 absolutely dominating the championship at the moment. But that is it, as I've said about 50,000 times. I'll catch you guys later.